Alright guys, so here's the 2021 State of the Collection video. And to be fair, it is a bit of a state. I've got far too many watches, far too many to do for this video, far too many to just generally have. I've got them all over the place. It's getting out of control. I need help. So I've put a load to one side that I'm going to try and sell at some point when I find time. And I've also not included all the ones I've got left that I'm actually keeping. I've tried to narrow it down to the ones that I either wear the most or that I think are the best. I've also broken it down into categories as well, so we're going to have like dress watches, divers, etc. I'm probably going to split the video into at least 2 parts because I think it's going to be quite a long one. So this is going to be part 1, and let's get right into it. Enough waffling, let's show you what they are. So let's start off with the divers, as that's what I've got the most of. So first up we've got this Martin SN011. So this is an homage of the Seamaster 300. I do really like this one. Had it quite a while. Unfortunately they don't make this one anymore, they've actually discontinued it. But if you do like it, Chronos do actually do a similar one. Although with that one, the polished centre link, whereas this one is all brushed. But as far as I can tell, that is the only real difference. You get the sandwich dial on both, and that is really nice. And it's probably not coming up on camera, but there is a little bit of texture to that dial on this. And again, as you kind of expect, even this early on, San Martin watches, the finishing is spot on. Nice polished chamfer details. Nice coin edge bezel. Nice crystal with a little bit of distortion. Just a really nice piece all round, I think. An H35. Next up we've got another San Martin. This one's the 62 Mass Homage. So this isn't the most recent one. This is the, I think it's version 1 or version 2, I can't really remember now. But again, really nice. Love that dome crystal. Nice detailing with the polished details on that coin edge bezel as well. Just catching the light nicely. You can see I've scuffed this a little bit because I've had this quite a while as well. Probably would have preferred to have brushed on the side of that, but it does still look good as long as you try not to scuff it up too much. But you could probably polish that out. So they kind of step things up at this stage. The bracelet being really nice on this. Little polished details on those centre bits. Just a nice touch. Again, catch the light really nicely. Also, nicer clasp I think, compared to the previous one. You could see they were heading in the right direction with this. And this has actually got the loomed bezel on this one as well, because there were a few options. I went with the fully loomed bezel one. Not entirely sure if they do that with the latest one. Don't think they do, but I'll probably leave links in the description to the more recent one if you are interested. Because as I say, I'm pretty sure they don't do this one anymore. But I do still like it. And again, NH35 with this one. Next up we got the Steeldive SD1970, aka the Captain Willard. You probably know all about this one, so I won't talk about this one too much. Just a fantastic value for money for what you're getting. So you get the NH35, you get that sapphire crystal, you get the fully loomed bezel, really good loom overall. I've actually changed out the clasp because it does come with a pressed one. I've swapped it for a milled. Other than that, it's pretty much exactly what you get. So, like I said, you know what these are like. Great value for money. Carrying on the great value for money Steeldive watches, we've now got the SD1975, so that's the Tuna homage. Again, same as the Willard pretty much. Got you the fully loomed bezel, great loom on the dial, sapphire crystal. Nice solid bracelet. Again, I've swapped out the clasp. Different one to the previous one, but again, it's a nice milled one, because again, the original one is just a pressed clasp. The only slight negative really, but for the price that you pay, you can't really complain. Just, again, great value for money. Next up we've got the Ironwatch, the 6204. So I actually did a comparison with this and the San Martin Retro Diver. I've actually got both, obviously, but I've been wearing this one more than the San Martin recently. Do really like this. I actually prefer the handset on this as opposed to the Mercedes style ones. on the San Martin. And there are a few other subtle differences. I've actually done a video comparing the two, so I'll probably leave a link to that down in the description if you want to check it out if you haven't already seen it. It's just a really nicely finished piece. Again, attention to detail. Nice little polished details on that coin edge bezel. Nice sapphire crystal. Top hat. And then the rivet style bracelet. Milled clasp. All the good stuff you kind of expect. And again, just really nicely finished. And the usual NH35. Now moving away from AliExpress watches to a micro brand, we've got the Mass Irukandji. I do really like this, it's just a really fun piece. That really cool case shape, mimicking the Irukandji jellyfish it's based on. And the way that crystal just kind of blends in seamlessly. I do really like that. Also, you can have a choice of where you want the crown. I decided to get it up here. Something a bit different, because obviously you can have it down at the 430. You have the option. So I thought, quirky watch, let's go for the crown up here, something a bit different. Nicely finished bracelet as well. Nice little polished details on the edge. The only slight issue I have with this one is this clasp. It's just a friction based one. I do prefer push buttons, but it is functional, albeit a bit stiff. But you get used to it, I guess. Plenty of micro adjust anyway, so that's not an issue. And they do some really nice colour options with this one as well. Obviously I went with the red one, but they have purple, yellow, all sorts of crazy ones. Again, links are down in the description if you want to check it out. And again, this is using the NH35. Next up, we've got the Seestern Doxa Homage. It's a really nice yellow. Again, they do a few different colours. Really nicely finished piece. First Seestern I've had. Hopefully I'll get some more in, because I've been really impressed with this one. Again, polished edges, so they do scuff a little bit, but you could probably polish them out. Nice drilled lugs. Really nice beads of rice bracelet. And again, nice milled clasp. Again, this one is also a friction based clasp, so that is a slight issue. Again, push buttons just easier, I find. But other than that, can't really fault this one. Really nice bezel. And it does actually all rotate, unlike some others. You probably know what I'm on about. And again, got the NH35 in this. Next up, we've got the San Martin Black Bay Homage. Again, as you come to expect with San Martin, really nicely finished. A few little things I'm not overly keen on, like that S that I still think looks like a $sign. Wish they just used that hexagonal logo all over now on the newer models. Really nicely finished bracelet, some polished details on the edge. I do like the San Martin clasps now with that new logo. And again, the polished details, just matching in, carrying it on from the bracelet and the case. Top quality when it comes to the finishing, and nice distortion on that crystal. Female end links, PT5000. On the bezel, it is slightly sharp, which I did mention in the review. Not overly so, but enough to feel it. It's not going to cut you or anything, but would have been nice if they just smoothed that out a touch. But other than that, fantastic piece. Next up, we've got another San Martin. Don't worry though, this is the last one in the diver section. But I didn't realise just how many San Martins I actually had until I started doing this. Got quite a few. This isn't even all of them. But anyway, so this is the sub homage, as you can tell obviously. This is the one with the PT5000. So I held off getting this for a while when it was just the NH35. I actually have the Chronos as well, which is very similar. Again, I've done a comparison review, which I'll probably leave down in the description if you want to check it out. But I have actually been wearing this one more than the Chronos lately. I just think the finishing and overall attention to detail is just a touch better. And I think I also prefer that San Martin logo. I know some people don't like it. I wasn't sure about it at first, but it is definitely one that grows on you. And again, attention to detail, superb. Again, slight issue I have, that same S. Please change that San Martin. Please use the hexagonal logo just on there as well. Other than that, fantastic piece. Next up, we've got the Heimdallr Seamaster Homage. So this one is actually titanium. I've actually got quite a few different Seamaster Homages, including the Willard, Matic, and a couple of others. But this is definitely my favourite of the bunch. Partly because it is titanium, also partly because of this bracelet that came with it. So it's the mesh style bracelet, and then we've got the Heimdallr branding on there, and it's a really nice one as well. Do like that a lot. And yeah, we have got some blue AR coating, but with this blue model, that isn't too big a deal. If you have a different dial colour, possibly that could be an issue. But with this one, I think it just adds to the dial. It's just really nicely done. Obviously the finishing isn't overly fancy because it is titanium, but it's functional, does the job. Would have liked maybe some scratch resistant coating, because I'm getting a couple of little scuffs and scratches on it. It's the only thing really missing from it, but getting a titanium watch at this price, you can't really complain too much. I also really like having the date window down at the 6, and it's also colour matched too, which is a nice touch. Well, I say colour matched, it's black, so it's almost colour matched. It's not a white one anyway. And again, this is an NH35. And then finally, we've got the Hruodland Aquatimer Homage. So this is probably my favourite watch out of the dive watches I've got at the moment, which you've probably seen in a few videos because I've talked about it quite a lot. I absolutely love it. That lovely dial, that sunburst, that blue, that sapphire bezel, not something you see a lot, and it's domed as well. Lovely detailing, actually limited edition this one, so piece 273. Female end links, PT5000. Nice bit of depth to those dials as well. Those indices almost kind of look as if they're floating. Nice branding, simple, not over the top. Nice small clasp, but still 3 levels of micro adjust. And we also got quite a nice case back as well. So it's not a cheap watch by any means, but I think you're definitely getting a really quality piece for the money. I can't really recommend this one highly enough. As I say, it is my favourite of all the ones I've shown you so far. And I like the way that they're not shying away the fact that it's Chinese made, because they can definitely be proud of this one. Yeah, it's a homage, but it's a very well done one. So, which is your favourite out of all these? Let me know down in the comments. Next up, I'm going to do the dress watches, starting with the Starking AM0184. So this is another one that I've had for quite a while, and I still can't believe the price of this. Really nice. Conforms to the wrist really well as well. Got female end links. Really nicely done bracelet. Not all individual pieces, but for the price, you don't really expect that. But it does look good either way. Just a butterfly clasp. And then when it comes to the movement, we've actually got an in-house high beat movement in this. I know some people in the past have said they were a little skeptical about the reliability and stuff, but as I said, I've had this for a while, not had any issues at all. I actually used to have the white one as well, because I liked it so much I had both, and I've also bought a couple for the people as well, and again, no issues with any of them. So you got applied indices, nice little cutout for the date window, nice detailing on those hands, catching the light nicely, sapphire crystal as well. So for the price you're paying, I still think it's a fantastic deal. I think they do actually have a Miyota version as well, but that's the A215. I'm just really not keen on that movement, so I definitely recommend this one. So next up we got the Escapement Time King Seiko Homage. So this is an absolutely beautiful piece again. For the money you're paying, it's fantastic value for money. Really nice slim case. That's because this has actually got a VH31 movement. So that's a Merkur quartz movement. So you get that almost smooth style sweep of a mechanical or automatic, but it's a quartz. And again, really nice finishing on the hands and the indices. Just love the way they catch the light. And then this is actually a different strap. The original one I wasn't really a fan of, so I swapped it out for this. So I'll probably leave that down in the description as well, if you want to check that out. Because I think it just goes with it really nicely. So next up we got the Merkur Conqueror. This one is actually an homage. You might not know what of, it's actually a pretty obscure one. It's the Seiko Laurel Alpinist. So, really beautiful piece, this one. This was actually a limited run, so I was lucky to actually get one of these. Definitely one that's going to be staying in my collection. Not going to be selling this one, because I absolutely love it. That lovely domed sapphire crystal. Nice little polished details, drilled lugs. Gorgeous dial. There's really nice indices and hands. Also the applied Merkur logo. Simple, elegant, beautiful. And it's actually a really nice strap as well, because this is the original strap that came with it. Just a really nice piece. Next up we've got the Reef Tiger Cocktail Time Homage. So again, really beautiful one. And again, an homage of another Seiko. I do have quite a few Seiko homages in my collection, but now actual Seikos. Absolutely love the way the light plays with this one. And this one's got the NH36. This isn't actually the strap it came on. This is a Vario one, I think. Yeah. It originally came on a bracelet, but I swapped it out for this leather strap. Really nice detailing on that case as well. Nice little step in that bezel, the way it joins onto that domed crystal. Just a really elegant, classy looking piece. Next up we've got the Cadisen C8097, aka the Cadisen Diamond it's normally referred to as. And you can probably see why. That's because apparently that in there is actually a little diamond. Obviously I've not opened it up to test it, but I don't see why it wouldn't be, because it is so small. I can kind of believe it is. But either way, it looks quite good. It integrates into the indice quite well anyway, so you don't really notice it too much if you're not keen on it. While we're zoomed in as well, you can see we've actually got applied minute markers all the way around, which is a nice touch. The way they catch the light is really nice too. And then we've got that nice blued second hand as well. The high beat movement in this, sweeping nicely. It's because it's in Miyota 9015 in this. Again, nice slim movement, so pretty slim case as well. Again, with it being a dress watch, mainly polished. Got a little bit of a dome on that crystal. And again, I've swapped out the original strap. This wasn't the one it came on, but I thought this suited it quite well. So the last dress piece we've got is another Reef Tiger. That's the RGA 8238. So this is another one I've mentioned in another video before. And the main thing with this one is that domed sapphire crystal. And that is a really impressive dome on that. The dial almost gets lost when you turn it to a certain angle, because the dome is so high. I do really love this. I don't wear it all that often, because it is a really dressy piece, especially with the gold coating. but I do love it. And we got the matching indices as well. Got the 3, 6, 9 and 12, and also that logo as well, which is also applied. And then we've got the NH36 in this. So we've got the day-date complication. I know some people might not like that, breaks up the watch a bit. If it had been colour matched, maybe it might have been a bit better, but it's not too big a deal. And then the strap on this is actually quite nice as well. Blue one to match the dial. And then we got butterfly style clasp. We've actually got quite a nice rotor on this. It's a custom one, the Reef Tiger. And again, that is a gold colour. And this is actually a quick release as well. So if you do want to swap it out, you can do that easily enough. So if I had to pick a favourite out of these dress watches, it'd probably be either this one or the Merkur, I think. Those two are definitely my favourites, but I don't think I can actually pick between the two. So next up I've got a couple of compressor style watches. First one being the Spinnaker Bradner. This one I've actually had for quite a while again, but I haven't actually done a review on this. I don't really know why. It's one that I just never got around to doing. If you are interested in seeing me do a full review of this, let me know down in the comments, because I did kind of miss the boat when it came out. I got it a little bit later anyway, so there were already quite a few reviews out, so I thought I'll leave it, maybe do it later, but never got around to it. So with a big compressor, you've got that inner rotating bezel, so you control that using this crown on the top here. It's not screw down, so you can actually knock it, which is a little bit of annoyance sometimes. And then again, we've got the NH35 in this. And you can see as well, we've got quite a lot of AR coating on that with that blue. Again, with the blue dial, not too big a deal. If you have a different colour, possibly it could be. It is a fairly chunky watch as well. But again, really nicely finished, I think. We've got a custom rotor on the back, and that display case back. And then a pretty nice vintage style leather strap. And you can see I've been wearing this quite a bit, so it's got quite a bit of wear on it, but it's still holding up pretty well. And then the second one is the Phoebus Eagle Ray. So this is the PY039E. And again, got that blue AR, not quite as prominent as on the Bradner, but it's still there. I don't mind it too much on this, even though it isn't a blue dial, because it is a really beautiful dial as well, with that texturing on that centre section. Pretty unique. The camera doesn't really do it justice. It's absolutely gorgeous. And again, the detailing around the edge on that bezel. Nice finishing. All integrates well, nothing loose or anything. Nice detailing on the crowns. And unlike the Bradner, these are both actually screw down. So with this one you can't actually knock it. Once you screw it in, it will stay in, which is a nice touch. I do quite like that. Again, this is the NH35, and we got the usual Phoebus logo on the back there, the octopus. Love it or hate it. I don't think they're ever going to get rid of that one. I personally really like them. So next up we've got the pilot watches, starting with the Escapement Time Flieger. This is the V2. So this is the PT5000 version. It's also got that domed sapphire crystal with the display case back as well. So you can see that PT5000. It's also got a few other little differences. Again, I did a comparison review with the two, so I'll probably leave that down in the description as well, if you want to know what those changes are. But you can't really go wrong with either of them. I just prefer this one because I do like a dome crystal, and I also like the upgraded movement with the previous one being NH35. Again, this isn't the original strap. I'll probably leave links to that in the description, or if you check out the full review, they'll be in there. Next up is another Escapement arm. This time it's their Chrono Pilot. So this is something a little bit different. This is a quartz movement in this one. It's the 6S21. And obviously that is a chronograph movement. Pushers, not screw down or anything. Again, pretty simple finishing, as you kind of expect with this kind of style of watch. But it is an interesting little difference having it with the chronograph function. And then we've got that date window down to the 6 as well. Would like that colour match maybe, but other than that, can't really fault it. And this is actually the original strap on this one. So this is the same strap that you'd get on the other Flieger. So next up we've got the field watches. It's actually going to be 3 of them from Boltony, starting with this one. This is the G10. So it's actually got a pretty interesting sandblasted case. Not something you see a lot often, especially on AliExpress. And then we've got a nice domed sapphire crystal. Fully printed dial, as you kind of expect with a field style watch, but pretty good loom actually, surprisingly good. And then we've got a nice little recess on that crown. And then when it comes to the strap, it's just a vintage style leather one. Nothing too fancy, but again, suits the style of watch. And then the movement in this is in an H35. Next up, we've got the Boltony Khaki. You can probably tell what this is homaging. The Hamilton Khaki King, but I think they have done a really good job of it. Again, fully printed dial. We've got a slightly different handset on this one. And again, really good loom. This one's actually a stainless steel, just a normal brush. No bead blasting or anything on this one. We've actually got a couple of little polished details as well, just to break it up a bit. And with this one, this isn't actually the original strap it came on. I've actually swapped this one out. So I'll probably leave that down in the description. And this has also got a NH35 as well. And then the third Boltony is the D12. So this is the Dirty Dozen homage. And again, we've got a different handset again. The cathedral style hands. Fully printed dial again. But we have actually got the sub dial with the seconds at the 6 o'clock. And then the movement in this one is slightly different. This is actually an ST1701. That's a seagull movement. And with this one, we've got almost like a satin finish on the case. So again, something a bit different. Nice domed crystal on this one as well. Sapphire. And this is 36mm, this one as well. Something a little different. And just a similar kind of strap to the first one. Just a vintage style leather one. If I had to pick my favourite out of the 3, it's tough with this. I think I probably lean towards the, I don't know, either this one or the khaki. It depends on the day really, it kind of varies.